The Starshot demo steals the show at DrupalCon Barcelona. Dries Buytaert's Dries Note was packed with major updates about the future of Drupal. And the headline? The Starshot initiative has been renamed DrupalCMS. Now, DrupalCMS is all about making life easier for non-developers like content creators and marketers. Dries showed off some really exciting AI-powered features during his keynote. We're talking about AI handling complex tasks like renaming content types, managing image fields, and even migrating entire websites. And all of this with just a few clicks. This could seriously transform how people build and manage sites on Drupal. Oh yeah, and we're halfway through the 8-month roadmap for DrupalCMS. Dries announced that we're on track for a January 15th, 2025 release, which is Drupal's 24th birthday. Plus there's a release candidate coming at DrupalCon Singapore in December, so expect big things soon. And speaking of community involvement, let's talk about a new way you can directly support Drupal, the Adopt a Document program. During the keynote, Dries announced a new way for companies and individuals to directly sponsor the documentation for DrupalCMS. For $2,400, you can sponsor a page of documentation. The money helps fund the writing and maintenance of high-quality documentation. In return, your logo gets featured on the page. This is a great way to support Drupal's future while also gaining visibility for your brand. Dries also revealed that DrupalCMS is being built with extensive community input. The Drupal Starshot Council includes end users, core committers, and key members of the Drupal Association. They're meeting every month to make sure that DrupalCMS meets the needs of the whole community. If you want to watch Dries' full presentation or dive deeper into what's happening with DrupalCMS, we've got all the links in the show notes. Keep an eye out as we approach the big January launch. Leadership shifts at the Drupal Association. Let's dive into some big leadership changes at the Drupal Association. The Drupal Association is the 501c3 nonprofit that's dedicated to accelerating the Drupal project and fostering the community. The association is saying goodbye to Nikki Flores and Nick Veenhoff, who've contributed so much over the years. A huge thank you to them for their service. So now let's talk about the new faces. The Drupal Association has just welcomed Sachiko Muto, Stella Power, and Alejandro Moreno to the board. Alejandro won the community-elected seat in the 2024 at-large election chosen by Drupal members to represent their voice. Sachiko and Stella, on the other hand, were appointed by the Board Governance Committee. Now, this process helps ensure that the board has the right mix of skills covering areas like finance, strategy, and technical expertise. But that's not all. Sue Camper has just stepped into the role of fundraising manager. Now, this is a pretty important move. Sue will be responsible for raising funds to support Drupal's development and community initiatives. In times when resources are crucial to innovation, Sue's role will be pivotal to the growth of the Drupal Association. It's going to be exciting to see what comes next under this new leadership. Stay tuned, there's a lot more to come from the Drupal Association. Exciting developments in GovCMS with new suppliers and the Mega Meetup reminder. If you caught our previous episode, we covered how the DSP was extended past its original expiry date. Well, there's been another exciting update. The first batch of new suppliers has officially joined the panel. So, what does this mean? The DSP is basically a pre-approved list of companies that provide Drupal services to government agencies. This means that when a government agency needs to develop or improve a website, they don't have to go through a whole procurement headache from scratch. They just choose from this panel of experts. The recent addition includes 10 new suppliers. The suppliers range from digital experience platform tools to other specialist digital services. This expanded panel makes it easier for over 100 Australian government agencies to deliver innovative digital experiences to their users. The GovCMS 2024 Mega Meetup reminder. The GovCMS 2024 Mega Meetup is happening on November 13 in Canberra. This in-person event is a big deal. It's your chance to connect with peers. You can learn about the latest innovations in GovCMS and share your own experiences with the community. We'll be hearing about all the progress made since the launch of GovCMS 3.0 last year. There'll be sessions on the newest tools and strategies for delivering better digital services, and on top of that, there'll be some exciting discussions about public-private partnerships. And don't miss the GovCMS Community Awards. This is the perfect time to celebrate all the innovation and hard work happening across the community. Awards will be given in categories like innovation, built for users, and community excellence. It's a great way to highlight all the awesome work that's being done to improve digital services in the public sector. Drupal release Roundup, key updates in core and security. Both Drupal 11.0.3 and Drupal 10.3.4 rolled out in mid-September, and the main highlight was security hardening with the Twig template library. Now, while Drupal core wasn't directly vulnerable, older versions of the Drupal core recommended package allowed insecure versions of Twig to be installed. So these updates bumped Twig to version 3.14.0 to tighten up security. There was a minor conflict affecting both Drupal 11.0.3 and 10.3.4. This involved modules like Menu Trail by Path, Entity Manager, and Gin Toolbar. The good news was that this was quickly resolved the very next day with the release of Drupal 11.0.4 and 10.3.5. So if you've already updated, you're all set. And also, for those of you that are still on Drupal 10 and using the CK Editor font module, it's time to switch to the CK Editor 5 plugin pack. This ensures better compatibility with Drupal 10.3 and it keeps you up to date. Security advisories, modules at risk. Now let's talk security. There have been several critical security advisories recently for contributed modules. All of these have been resolved with updates, so make sure you're running the latest versions. In the Smart IP Ban module, there's a critical access bypass vulnerability affecting Drupal 7. Unauthorized users could change the module's configuration, so make sure to update if you're using this. The File Entity module has another issue for Drupal 7 sites, a moderately critical information disclosure problem, potentially exposing private files. The diff module had a moderately critical issue. It allowed users with certain permissions to access private information from older versions of your content. Update to the latest version if you're using this module. The two-factor authentication or TFA module had a critical flaw. Attackers could trick users into logging in through a session they controlled, bypassing two-factor authentication. Make sure you're on the latest version of Drupal 7 or Drupal 8+. The persistent login module also had a moderately critical issue. It didn't correctly check if a user's account was disabled when they logged in using a saved cookie. This could allow unauthorized access, so update your module to stay protected. There's lots of important security fixes, so make sure to get those updates in place. All links and details are in the show notes, so check those out for more information. We've got more updates coming soon, so stay tuned for next month's episode where we'll dive deeper into the latest developments in Drupal security. While security is crucial, let's switch gears to something that makes life easier, theming with Pinto. Spotlight. Theming with Pinto by Adam Bramley. The Pinto module is developed by Daniel Finn. Now, Pinto is revolutionizing Drupal theming by simplifying and improving the developer experience. Instead of dealing with scattered code, Pinto lets you package theming logic into reusable theme objects. Now, these objects are neatly organized into PHP classes, so that means less duplication and fewer headaches. It also means streamlined and maintainable workflow. Pinto works with Drupal entities, things like pages, users, or media, and it makes theming smoother, especially with fieldable entities, which allow you to add custom fields to your content. But Pinto isn't limited to Drupal entities. It also integrates with Storybook. Now, Storybook is a tool that lets you preview and test components, the building blocks of your site, like buttons or cards. Think of these components as Lego blocks that you can reuse across different parts of your site. This approach, called component-driven design, speeds up development, and it also ensures consistency across your entire site. And Pinto also works seamlessly with Twig, Drupal's templating engine, to help you manage how your content is displayed. Adam recently shared a follow-up blog post focusing on entity theming with Pinto. This digs into more complex theming challenges, particularly for fieldable entities. Pinto's flexibility shines in handling those more intricate cases. If you're using Vite for front-end development, Pinto integrates perfectly. It offers real-time updates and hot module reloading, so you can see changes instantly without refreshing the page. For more details on Pinto and its capabilities, including entity theming, check out Adam's blog post. Community shout out, Drupal South Steering Committee nominations are closing soon. If you have ever wanted to get more involved in shaping the Drupal community in Australia and New Zealand, now's your chance. The 2024 Drupal South Steering Committee elections are just around the corner and nominations close soon on Thursday, October 10. So if you or someone you know is interested, now's the time to step up. This election will fill 3 seats on the committee, with terms running from November 2024 to November 2026. Gender and geographic balance are built into the process. there must be at least 2 men and 2 women on the committee. Plus there's also a requirement for at least 2 representatives from Australia and 2 from New Zealand. Once the committee members are elected, they'll choose their own chairperson from within the group. The voting period will run from October 14 to October 28, with the winners announced in the week of November 11. If you're passionate about Drupal events or growing the community, this is an awesome opportunity to get involved. You can self-nominate through the form on the Drupal South website. We've got all the links in the show notes. We've got more community updates coming your way in future episodes, so keep an eye out for what's next in the world of Drupal. DrupalCon Atlanta 2025, call for speakers are still open. Alright, let's turn our attention to DrupalCon Atlanta 2025, and there's still time to get involved. The call for speakers is open until October 23, 2024. If you've got expertise to share, this is your moment. DrupalCon is all about the community, and they're welcoming submissions from both seasoned speakers and newcomers. Whether you're a developer, a designer, or a content strategist, there's a session type for you. You can apply to present a workshop, a panel, or a lecture. Diversity is key, and so they encourage participation from underrepresented communities, plus accepted speakers get free registration. Head to the show notes for more information. Spotlight on global DrupalCamps. First up, we've got Bad Camp 2024. It's happening October 24 to 25 in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's the largest free Drupal event in the world, packed with sessions, summits, and social events. Then we've got the DrupalCamp AI in London on October 24. It's the first ever DrupalCamp focused on AI. This is the place to be if you're looking to explore how artificial intelligence is shaping the future of Drupal. Meanwhile, over in Berlin, DrupalCamp Berlin returns for the first time in 10 years. It's happening November 8 and 9, and it's part of the Drupal Week Berlin, and it features the Splash Awards for Germany and Austria. And let's not forget the Pacific Northwest Drupal Summit is back after a 5-year hiatus. It is running from October 11 to October 13. And DrupalCamp Chattanooga is happening on November 2nd. If you're looking to catch up with the Drupal community or deepen your knowledge, these events are the perfect opportunity. For more details on any of these and more events in other parts of the world, check out the Drupal events page. There's always more happening in the Drupal world, and we're just scratching the surface. If you're curious about anything we covered or missed a past episode, click the video link on screen to catch up. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments below, and I'd love to hear from you. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.